This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.
Hello everyone, welcome to AKSIAS. So I hope the exam was good. Whatever we do and however we prepare and go, ultimately we'll always have a confusion about the answer keys, the number of questions which you might have attempted, which are correct and which are not, and what may be the ultimate cutoff. Will I be in or not? As soon as you complete the exam, these are some of the most important questions that will be there in your mind. And we are also aware that as soon as you finish your CSAT paper, you'll be searching for the most relevant and accurate analysis of the papers. Apart from giving the answer keys, we believe we need to justify what we feel is right and why it is actually right. See guys, there is no one proper analysis given when we look at the previous years. But for the first time in India, we are making our complete effort to ensure that each and every question that we analyze, we will give you the actual one which we feel is right. But if there is a confusion, we will also tell you why the confusion exists and how exactly you may have to count the number of questions that you have attempted to be correct or not. So at AKSIAS, different faculties have worked on this and they are giving their subject-wise analysis. I know you don't want to listen much to all these stuff at this time, but still, we will go for geography analysis first. And let us see the number of questions that are there and what exactly may be the answer. And if at all there is any confusion, why there is one such. So the question is about the permaculture farming. How is it different from conventional chemical farming? Please understand, agriculture plays a very important role, and we have been telling this repeatedly in our classes, lectures as well. Now, when you look at this, first let us go by some of the most important questions. Later we can change them. So in permaculture, if you see, the third option, conventional chemical farming is easily possible in semi-arid regions, but permaculture farming is not so easily possible in such regions. So basically, this statement is wrong because it is possible, permaculture is possible in semi-arid regions. Now, given this particular one to be wrong, so I have to remove these two. And then I have either 4 only or 1, 2, and 4. If I can see, permaculture farming discourages monocultural practices, but in conventional chemical farming, monoculture practices are predominant. The statement is correct. So you're aware that the permaculture normally asks us to go for multicultural or more than one crop practices. So with that logic, we can say 1, 2, and 4 is actually correct, right? So guys, I'm trying to analyze and also teach you how exactly you must have thought in the examination. So even if you have done mistakes this year, it would be easy for you to analyze next year. See, after today's paper, in your mind, it will be fresh how you have thought in the examination hall, how exactly your mind worked. So if I am showing you the replica of how it should work, rather than just telling you for this particular question on this analysis, this is correct, and explaining you the concept, It will definitely help you to improve how you deal with multiple choice questions. Now, with reference to palm oil, the cost of palm oil was increasing regularly. And you were also aware that India was introducing this in Andaman and Nicobar and Southeast Asia and Northeast India. Now, we are all aware that a question would come on palm oil, but let us see what are the options that UPSC had actually given. Now, the palm oil tree is native to Southeast Asia? No. It is native to South Asia and other parts as well. If not, we wouldn't have been using this to that extent. So, here, if I look at the options, if one is wrong, 3 options are gone. And I can easily tell you that this is the right option. So I need not read. Palm oil can be used for biodiesel. Palm oil is a raw material for some industries producing lipstick and perfumes. Whether I know, whether I don't know, doesn't matter. If I'm aware that it is native to Southeast Asia, that statement is wrong. Rest all, I can leave. See, people normally tell, sir, we didn't have enough time to do 2 revisions, 3 revisions of the paper. Earlier we planned that we could, but no. Why? Because you're wasting time in reading other aspects and then coming to the conclusion. So if you can have this trick and reduce the amount of time that you're spending for the questions which you are aware, then the rest would be easy. Now you see this. With reference to the Indus River system, of the following 4 rivers, 3 of them pour into one of them, which joins the Indus directly. That means which rivers finally flow into Indus? That is your Chenab. A very, very basic question, guys. Every river flows into other river. Ultimately, Chenab flows into Indus. So this is a direct question. Class notes, NCERT books directly gives you this answer. With reference to India, Didwana, Kuchaman, Sargol and Katu are the names of the Ramsar sites and mangroves were in news. Definitely these 2 are not this. So if you are able to eliminate at least in the exam that these 2 are wrong, now what is left? Either glaciers or saline lakes, right? So the Didwana, Kuchaman, Sargol, they are not glaciers, they are saline lakes. If you had doubt in these 2 and if you have chosen A over D, it's just like, not your luck. That's it. Else, if you were able to eliminate even these 2, that means your preparation is right on track. Don't worry. Now, about the river systems again. Brahmani, Baitarni, Subarnarekha normally is closer to the Chotanagpur Plateau region and below. When it comes to Vamshadhara, this is a typical one which is originating in Eastern Ghats, and they form estuaries as well. So even if you had analyzed this part, it would have been easy. Vamshadhara is right. Subarnarekha is at the border of West Bengal and Odisha, and it has a stretch coming almost from peninsular plateau. So that itself would have helped you to know that the option B, Nagavalli and Vamshadhara is correct. Because Subarnarekha, even when you are talking about the coastal regions and all, you might have read about this, right? So if you are not aware of Vamshadhara, that means not only geography, but also current affairs you are not aware. The reason being, Vamshadhara is disputed between Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. So knowing about this river disputes helps us in most of the times. Now this is a typical question which I have been repeating regularly in the class, that International Seabed Authority grants licenses for seabed exploration and mining. India has received licenses. Rare earth minerals are present on seafloor in international waters. Yes, almost all the minerals are present. So they are not telling that something is there and something is not there. So the statement is 2 and 3. Why? It is seabed authority which comes into picture. Now this question, it's very unfortunate that some students have read the question wrong. See here, water efficient crop. Most of the students unfortunately have chosen water efficient crop, but they have asked the least water efficient crop. That means what? Least water efficient means it is wasting a lot of water, and that one is sugarcane. We keep criticizing regularly that growing sugarcane in deficit areas is extremely, like, mistake done by our country people. So this is a direct question. Now, the beauty of analysis with respect to ocean currents here, guys. In tropical zone, if I take, I'll just show you here. I have North America, I have Africa and Europe region. If I take Gulf Stream, Canary Current, North Atlantic Drift, and also we are talking about Labrador Current. So Labrador Cold Current. I'll try to write this in blue color for you. Canary also in blue. Now you check. These two are blue in color. I will draw a line like this. This is tropical. This is temperate. Now you check. In the tropical zone, the western section of the oceans are warmer, red color, warmer than the eastern sections, owing to the influence of trade winds. You know that the tropical region is under the influence of trade winds, and here you can see western is Gulf Stream, the eastern one is the Canary Current. In temperate zone, westerlies make the eastern sections of the ocean warmer than the western sections. Here you will see Labrador Current. Here you will observe what we basically call as North Atlantic Drift. This analysis you must have done irrespective of the other understanding that you have. For example, let me say you have water here. Trade winds blow from east to west. East to west. So when it is blowing, warm water gets accumulated here and cold water rises here. So this is correct with respect to the first one. And the second one, westerlies, when they blow from here, right? Cold water accumulates this side and warm water this side. So given this, I hope you understood. The answer would be both 1 and 2. So this would have taken some time for your analysis. Now, just a minute. Now is climate smart agriculture. Now this was there in your economic survey as well. The climate smart village approach in India is a part of the project led by Climate Change, Agriculture and Food Security, an international research program. Yes. Sorry. Yes, the statement is right. The project of CCAFS is carried out under Consultative Group on International Agriculture Research, headquartered in France. Yes. The International COPS Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics in India is one of the CGIAR's research centers. Yes. This was not covered under geography, but we have covered this under environment and ecology. All the three options are correct for this, right? Now, this is a very, very simple question, guys. It's a cakewalk for you people. Leaf litter decomposes faster than in any other biome, and as a result, the soil surface is often almost bare. Some people might have heard about it, some people might not. Apart from trees, the vegetation is largely composed of plant forms that reach up into the canopy vicariously by climbing the trees or growing as epiphytes. Epiphytes, multiple times in the classroom, we have seen that it is your tropical rainforest, equatorial evergreen forest, directly from NCERT. Now, this question is little bit tricky. Let us try to understand the question and see what is right. The vegetation of savanna consists of grassland with scattered small trees, but extensive areas have no trees. Repeatedly, we have told you that savanna means extensively grasses will be there, and here and there trees will be there. Fine. The forest development, that means tree development in such areas, is generally kept in check by one or more or a combination of some conditions. What is the meaning of this? If trees have to grow in savanna region, what are the conditions? See, read it again. The forest development in such areas is generally kept in check by one or more or a combination of some conditions. So here they are not telling what is checking savanna. Here they are telling forest development in savanna is checked by what? Now, definitely anywhere temperature, moisture, humidity or rainfall, soil conditions, biological factors play a very, very important role in development of forest. Now, let us see the things that are being given. Burrowing animals and termites. Fine. Fire. Now, let us say because of the tree, if the seeds are actually present and if these seeds go and fall, right, there, if fire catches, the seeds may be destroyed. Second condition, if at all the grasses are vanished due to fire, and then if seeds fall, there is possibility of growth of the forest. So forest development may be hampered by fire, but it may also be developed by fire. But here they're asking about the check. Grazing herbivores, they pluck, and at the same time, they also benefit. So you have always read biological factors also help in development of forest. Climate in a specific region is always by this. And fourth and fifth, you see, seasonal rainfall for sure. rainfall is the most important factor which determines the forest development. Soil is also very, very important factor in determining the forest development. So let me tell you, whenever we talk about the climate, we have some primary factors and we have secondary factors. And when we look at these primary factors, seasonal rainfall and soil properties are extremely important for development of grasslands. And forest development is definitely checked by these. If these were good, then forest would have easily developed. The secondary factors after the development of savanna is the fire, grazing, herbivores, and all. So, to be frank, fire, grazing, herbivores, seasonal rainfall, soil properties, all the four are correct. Now, there is no such option 2, 3, 4, and 5. So some people may say 2, 3, and 4 is right, because those three are also playing. But I personally believe, if at all the UPSC has thought about this question, then it must be the primary factors which are responsible for the development, that is seasonal rainfall and soil properties. Fine. So if at all you have confusion between these two, you can cross check and then you can come to a conclusion. But I would say, sometimes it's very difficult to differentiate, because 2, 3, and 4 is also right, 4 and 5 is also right. Then yes, with reference to the water on the planet Earth, consider the following statements. This is a 7th standard NCERT book diagram, guys. The amount of water in the rivers and lakes is more than the amount of groundwater. Wrong. Groundwater is more compared to these two. The amount of water in the polar ice caps and glaciers is more than the amount of groundwater. This is correct. So 2 only. This is a factual one, directly from your NCERT book, guys. Now again, this is a good question. You see, Moringa was in news. Is a leguminous plant? Yes. Evergreen tree? Yes. So let me hold this. Tamarind tree is endemic to South Asia? No. It is present in other parts as well. In India, most of the tamarind is collected as minor forest produce, correct. India exports tamarind and seeds of moringa, correct. Seeds of moringa and tamarind can be used in the production of biofuels, correct. 3, 4, 5 is absolutely correct. But 1 is also right. If you check, moringa is leguminous, yes. Moringa is evergreen, yes. But moringa is deciduous as well. It sheds leaves in some areas. So here also, as there is no 1, 3, 4, and 5, right? And seeds of moringa and tamarind is definitely used for biofuels. We are choosing this case. 3, 4, and 5 is absolutely right. And one more thing, guys. Students who have marked different answers, you may have your own understanding of the question, and you will try to say, okay, no, this is right, this is wrong. Why did we choose this over this? You have all these confusions. We completely agree with you guys, because every student will be willing to get as many correct answers as possible. But don't be in a confused state. If at all some answers from some websites or some analysis, if it goes wrong, consider it to be like, doubtful for you and calculate your scores. I am only telling you that these two questions are confusing. So if you have chosen anything in the examination hall, it would definitely make sense. Fine. Now, the black cotton soil of India has been formed due to the weathering off. This is like, a cakewalk for you people, right? It's a cakewalk for you. So, guys, these were some of the geography questions which we identified. Fortunately, the number of questions from maps were less, apart from the Indus and others, but that is river based. So, agriculture still played a very important role. The number of questions has increased. So, guys, I hope you people have done the analysis. Let me tell you one last thing. We always say that to clear this exam, some Telegram channels, some Telegram groups, some materials which people claim only from this it will come is not helpful. Apart from proper analysis, right mentorship, hand holding, faculties are extremely important. At least now realize that guidance plays a very, very important role in clearing this exam. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.
This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.